First at 6, Richmond police avoid a potential tragedy after it says someone tipped it off to an alleged plan for a mass shooting on the 4th of July. Both suspects now behind bars, one at Albemarle Charlottesville Regional Jail.
Live in high definition from the area's most experienced news team, this is NBC29 HD News at 6.
Richmond police say a, quote, hero citizen who gave them a tip prevented a mass shooting on July 4th.
Yeah, 2 men are behind bars tonight. One was arrested in Richmond. The other was arrested by state police in Albemarle County and is at Albemarle Charlottesville Regional Jail tonight. NBC29's Henry Graff has our top story at 6.
A hero tipster is being celebrated in Richmond for giving police information to stop a planned mass shooting on the 4th of July. The intended target, the Dogwood Dell celebration, where hundreds were in attendance.
One phone call saved numerous lives on the 4th of July.
Chief Gerald Smith detailing the timeline during a briefing. On Friday, investigators received the tip, sparked by a conversation the tipster overheard. Police showed up to the 3100 block of Columbia Street on Richmond's south side, and someone let them in. The chief says officers seized 2 assault rifles, 1 handgun, and 200 rounds of ammunition from the house, and arrested 52-year-old Julio Alvarado Dubon for being a non-U.S. citizen in possession of a firearm.
They were planning to actually shoot up our 4th of July celebration, okay? We know what their intent is, but we don't have their motive.
Police say they kept a second suspect, 38-year-old Roman Balacarcel, under surveillance until he was arrested Tuesday by state police in Charlottesville, charging him with the same crime.
Any number of my community members, my neighbors, my friends, my family could have been victimized in a mass shooting.
At that Monday celebration, City Councilor Stephanie Lynch and her family. She's thankful the tipster stood up and police swooped in.
We could have been on the news the next day as victims and not survivors. And that is a really terrifying thought.
Police say the 2 suspects are roommates, and Homeland Security is also investigating.
This reminds us that this does not have to be our narrative in Richmond or anywhere else throughout this country. We've seen the proliferations of weapons of war being used on our civilian population throughout this country.
Henry Graff, NBC29 News.
Inflation is driving up the prices of items we need or use every day. One Charlottesville day shelter says more people are coming to it for help. NBC29's Bria Stith shows us the new demand.
Inflation on our basic necessities like gas, food, and housing have shelters like the Haven experiencing a spike in people looking for help.
Everything is more expensive. It's harder to live, and when we don't have jobs that pay enough and we have housing costs that are skyrocketing.
Charlottesville groups who fight homelessness and housing insecurity say the problem is spreading to more middle-class families.
It is only getting harder and harder, especially for people who are, working multiple minimum wage jobs and not making enough money and having to choose, so many hard decisions, really.
Inflation is pushing more people into a crisis. LaQuinn Gilmore is with the Haven.
Hit them really hard. It hit them right there in their pockets, and a lot of people lost a lot of their life savings.
As gas, food, and housing costs swell, stability suffers, and so do people.
All of those things coming together makes the line that much thinner between stably housed and homelessness.
Now, Ocean Ilo says more low-cost housing is being used for business opportunities.
Affordable rental units get flipped into Airbnbs and student housing and things like that. So I think everyone, no matter their housing status, is feeling that difficulty of really flourishing out in the community.
Shelters like the Haven are trying everything to prevent people from falling through the cracks.
It can look like helping people access other community resources to help pay rent arrears. It can look like helping folks find a new place that is more appropriate for them.
Anyone at risk of being homeless can contact the Community Resources Line, which will be linked on our website. In Charlottesville, Bria Stith, NBC29 News.
Thank you, Bria. Albemarle County Fire Rescue is adding a familiar face to its team. It has a new Deputy Chief of Community Risk and Resilience that was formerly with the Charlottesville Fire Department. NBC29's Dominga Murray shows us who it is.
Emily Policia started volunteering at the Charlottesville Albemarle Rescue Squad as a UVA student. Now with 28 years of experience, the Albemarle County Fire Rescue is happy to welcome her.
So I was hired for this section. It's called the Community Risk and Resilience section. Which is a unit of part of the department that focuses on community risk, analyzing and looking at sort of the big picture of what are all the risks in the community, how do they interact, and how are they connected and related, and then building partnerships to tackle some of the issues that exist.
Part of that work involves establishing partnerships with law enforcement and social services. She joined the team on June 21st.
I spent that first day really just getting to know the people in this Community Risk and Resilience section.
One of those people is Fire Chief Dan Eggleston.
That transition is rather smooth, and I'm just really excited because she comes to us with lots of community connections and a good heart for this business.
Chief Eggleston and Deputy Chief Policia say the County Fire Rescue is starting something new with her on board.
A clear challenge is the rise in mental health and behavioral health emergencies and how we respond to those and developing an alternative response model.
This will take help from Region 10 and UVA Health to respond to emergencies in the best way possible.
So really excited to start working on a response model that's different than what we've had in the past, the one that involves both the fire service leadership from the Department of Social Services as well as the police department, a multifaceted group that goes out and models our response to the crisis at hand.
In Charlottesville, Dominga Murray, NBC29 News.
You may have seen some colorful signs around Charlottesville that are part of Alex Zann's Yogo campaign. Well, now some of those are missing. NBC29's Anahita Jafari is live in our newsroom with more. Good evening, Anahita.
Hi, Steve. Alex Zann's latest Yogo campaign, short for Yo, Let It Go, encourages people to relax in moments of anger or frustration. Zann recently received news that someone has been taking down these Yogo signs. Zann says he probably would have never known about the incident if a friend had not seen it and called him.
She was really upset because she was driving and happened to see a young white male jumps out of his vehicle, angry, stomping, grabbing the Yogo sign, balling it up, trying to ball it up, throwing it in his car.
Zann is not asking the police to get involved. Instead, he's turning to the community for help, for himself and for the person taking his signs.
It's primarily around the country. They say something, see something, say something. And I'm thinking that what else, if this youngster is angry, what else or whatever other steps he may take towards against a person or institution.
This campaign has made a positive impression on many, and to whoever is angry about it, Alex Zann says Yogo. Anahita Jafari, NBC29 News at 6.
Thank you, Anahita. Title IX, the law giving women equity in education and athletics, has now been in place since 1972, 50 years. But a professor at the University of Virginia's law school says there's still a lot more work to be done. Kimberly Robertson says women are still underrepresented at all levels of school sports and in the workplace, with jobs in science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics.
STEAM is the future. You know, there's one study that found like almost all of the 30 fastest growing jobs are in STEAM. That's the place to be in terms of future job growth. But only 42.4% of higher education graduates are women in STEAM.
For these changes to be made, Robinson says men and women should work together toward equality. She also said it'll take work at all levels of government, from school boards to Congress and to the White House.
There's a new way for people struggling or who know someone struggling with maternal mental health to get help. A hotline is just a call or text away. During and after pregnancy, callers in the Commonwealth may be connected to a group called Postpartum Support Virginia. If you or someone you love needs support with perinatal mental health, the number to call or text is 1-833-9-HELP-FOR-MOMS.
A Louisa County veteran is taking his skills to the USA Paracycling Nationals in Chattanooga this weekend. NBC 29's Isabel Cleary introduces us to J.W. Moreno and shares why he rides.
A women's empowerment event is happening at the Reserve at Belvedere in Albemarle County this Saturday. People can come out, shop with small businesses, and enjoy vendors, group-led exercise, and food trucks. A scholarship will be given away at the event to one young entrepreneur.
Weather Center. Here is your Storm Team 29 forecast.
And thanks for sticking with us here on this Wednesday evening. We took a bit of a power outage here in town, but we are back on the air live with you. I'm Storm Team 29 meteorologist Josh Fitzpatrick. NBC 29's live Doppler radar is showing the most active storm shifting away now from Buckingham County. We're seeing a leftover shower, mostly a light shower over the city of Charlottesville, the I-64 corridor. Most of the active weather has been well to the south, more towards the James River, Shenandoah Valley, and Point South. And you can see that heavy storm moving away now from Dillwyn. So the worst of the storms are now shifting away from the Route 15 corridor. Some leftover rumbles of thunder and some rain into Buckingham County, but the worst of the storm is moving away from your area. A couple of showers trying to form over northern Albemarle County. A couple of little showers in between Harrisonburg and Stanton, and especially Stanton and central Augusta County. You are hard hit just before 4 o'clock today with a severe thunderstorm. At least 7 reports of wind damage in and around the city of Stanton and Augusta County. In fact, there was a tree down on a car on Devon Road around 4 p.m. No reports of injuries, though. The big picture shows a flood watch is also now in effect until tomorrow morning about 5 o'clock due to the fact that the ground is wet for parts of the area and it wouldn't take much more storms to cause some localized high water. But for now, the most active weather is shifting south, Southside Virginia, North and South Carolina. That is a severe thunderstorm watch, mostly to the south, and there's some more clusters of storms off to our west into West Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky. Some of that we'll have to watch and see if it makes it over the mountains, so I still can't rule out a scattered shower and storm tonight. And keep those weather photos if you can. Do so safely. Send us your storm photos through the Storm Team 29 weather app. And remember, your weather is always on NBC 29 mobile and NBC29.com and the Storm Team 29 weather app. Any storm that gets going this evening, tomorrow, and also Friday could produce some localized damaging wind gusts, some small hail, and some flooding. The overall tornado threat is very, very low. So Futurecast shows a scattering of showers and storms. They'll fade away overnight. A quiet start to your Thursday, and then Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening from northwest to southeast, another risk for a shower, downpour, and thunderstorm. And we'll do this again on Friday as well. Your forecast overnight, a scattered shower and storm, humid conditions. Overnight lows will dip on down into the steamy 70s. For Thursday, not quite as hot as today. We hit the 90s today, more like the 80s tomorrow. From Charlottesville, Culpeper, Harrisonburg, Stanton, Waynesboro, a scattering of showers and thunderstorms, mainly afternoon into the evening hours. And your 7-day forecast is showing us one more active day on Friday with showers and storms. So we'll have to watch Fridays after 5. Right now, it doesn't look like a total washout, but can't rule out some storms in the 80s. 70s on Saturday, a better chance for some showers, maybe rumble of thunder. On Sunday and Monday, we'll call it mainly dry in the 80s, followed by a warm up next Tuesday and Wednesday back in the low 90s with hot, steamy conditions.